Welcome back to Chix and Sticks, Cigars in the Silver Screen. Tonight we have Italy in the house, and I have a great show planned for you with a very special guest. So we have, as always, lots to talk about. So let's get this started. I'm super excited tonight because of my guest. If this is the first time you're watching the show, it's Chix and Sticks. That's me, Cigars in the Silver Screen. So I smoke cigars and review the cigar, and based on the flavor profile and kind of the mood and the feeling of the cigar, I pair them with Hollywood movies. So I'm coming at you live from Hollywood land. So it's going to be a fun night. So I would like to introduce my first guest. He is a filmmaker, director, and made his first film when he was in the 4th grade. So anyway, I'm so proud to introduce my son, Gibson Reedy.
Hello. Good evening. Good evening.
Here he is.
Wow, I'm in front of the camera. Amazing. I think I'm going to do a lot better at this job than behind the camera. Than we've been doing.
Yeah, he's so good in front of the camera too. Like in high school, he was the news reporter for the school newspaper was online, and so he was the news reporter, and he'd go to football games, events, and he would set up the camera. So he did the camera work, the editing, and he was in front of the camera, coming at you live from Cleveland High. So you're super good in front of the camera too. You could do it all.
Yeah.
So that's really good.
Yep.
Okay, so we got so much to talk about tonight that we got to get moving.
Yes.
And I know that they're already smoking and drinking. So,
okay.
I think that I forgot to take a shot of Fireball. It'll be Fireball o'clock or shot o'clock.
Right.
Shot o'clock a little bit later, but I forgot to take one before the show, so I think we should start with that.
Now. Okay.
If you want to pour them, and then I'm going to pour our other drink. But in the meantime, I just wanted to say, because we're smoking the Toscano, which is Italian, I've tried to be as Italian as I can. So I'm wearing Armani. Since this is kind of a Hollywood land red carpet show, I think it's important to talk about what we're wearing.
Yes, always. Always. In this town, you have to talk about what you're wearing. Yeah, it's a must.
I know. Come on, Armani, send me something. This is all I got, this sequin tube top.
Salute.
Okay. Salute. Ready? Oh, God, I love that stuff. Okay. And then let's see what else. I've got my Versace sunglasses.
And did those come from Rodeo Drive? Is that
These came straight from, they were a gift.
Okay.
So I don't know if they came from Rodeo Drive. No, I got, and then I got,
somewhere fancy.
I think this hat makes me look Italian. Right? I think so.
Yes.
And then let's see what else. Italy's known for wine, food, film.
Yeah, a lot.
Chocolate,
Italy's
fashion,
great.
Architecture. I mean, they're just like cool, artsy people. So I'm trying to look as cool as I can. Oh, and leather. So I've got a little leather coat.
And so I have my Rome on.
Yeah.
And this is
that came from Rome.
Yeah, this is from the Hard Rock in Rome. In Rome, the Hard Rock in Rome.
Okay.
Which is really cool. It's in kind of the, bougie place. It's like next to a Ferrari store or something, and they have like archways in the Hard Rock and paintings on the ceiling of little cherubs flying
with
around.
Gold
yeah, it's like if the Hard Rock was the most stereotypical Italian theming you could have, that's the Hard Rock in Rome. But it was really great food. I mean, the Hard Rock's always fun, especially they're in so many cool places. So yeah. Hard Rock Rome was cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, do we like my hat?
Well, I'll keep my hat on.
I'll take my sunglasses or my glasses off though, because I want to feel like people see me. I can see you.
Yeah, we're not those kind of Hollywood assholes yet, where we wear our sunglasses all the time.
not until the big house.
Right.
Okay, so what I made to drink is Italian too. I made a chocolate martini, but good. Because we are in Hollywood, I added some coconut too. So I used a chocolate liqueur, some chocolate bitters, a coconut rum.
Okay.
And a chocolate vodka.
Such a mixologist.
So
very impressive.
It's going to be strong.
Okay, well, that's fine.
And, pick up your glass. I have this great, you know how I'm always all about the garnish. I love to make fancy, cool garnishes. So I have this really great piece of Italian chocolate that has, I can't remember what I said, brittle or something in it. So you get that in your drink.
Yes.
So
and I have a Club 33 glass, which not everybody might know what it is, but it's a very exclusive club that's at all the Disney parks around the world. And they have a 10-year waiting list. It costs tens of thousands per year. You have to be invited to join. And so we have a friend that's gotten us in a couple times. So we have the official Club 33 merch.
Right.
Yeah.
So now we're feeling really Hollywood.
Right.
Okay, so this is going to be powerful. Oh my God.
You can tell it's strong, but
it doesn't even taste boozy.
No, I was going to say you can tell it's strong, but it doesn't taste like alcohol. You could put several of these back and before you'd start, noticing
I better talk fast.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'll be like.
Oh, it's so good and smooth, though.
Oh, my God. Gosh, and just really a little bit of coconut and a little bit of chocolate. And it's going to go so good with our cigar. Okay, wait, I need another.
Wow, that's good. Mm. And you know me, I'm somebody that tends to like sweeter drinks and things.
Yeah,
so, that's
kind of girl drinks.
Light beers, light cigars, sweet cocktails.
Connecticut's. Yeah. I mean, come on.
When my girlfriend and I go to a bar, she orders Coke and Jack. Well, I order for her, so I go, I need a Coke and Jack.
Coke.
I need a Coke and Jack and Hawaiian Maui Zowie Coke thing. And they bring it. They give her the fruity drink. They give me the Coke and Jack, and then we switch them.
That's totally true too.
It happens all the time.
Okay, so let's get right to our cigar because it's going to go so well with what we're drinking.
Yeah.
So we are smoking the Italian Toscano.
This is classic Italiano here. I mean,
classic. Okay, let's prepare our cigar. And while we do, I'm going to tell you a little story about the Toscano. The Toscano cigar is very different, and it's prepared very differently from other cigars.
Cool. Okay.
So, one thing about the Toscano, you can see it's extremely rustic, super toothy. I mean, it's got all these bumps and veins. And part of that is because the Toscano does not have a binder.
Okay.
So it's a filler and a wrapper.
Okay.
No binder. So the whole idea or story about how the Toscano started is totally shrouded in mystery. But the legend goes that in August of 1815, somebody left a huge pallet of tobacco leaves sitting out in the courtyard by the factory. And it was in the hot sun, right? So, they're drying. Okay, it's okay. Well, so what happens in the summer, sometimes in Italy, is they can have these great... Oh, I should be saying hi to people. Hi, Ray. Hi, Kyle. Hi, Ray again. they can have these huge downpours. So what happens? The clouds open up in this downpour, and it soaks all the leaves.
Okay.
And everybody, all the cigars makers are like cussing, and they're so mad. They're stomping around. You can imagine Italian style. We are pissed. Okay, so there's how they're very animated.
Yeah,
Most people I know who are Italian are very animated.
They are. Yes.
And you know what? If you're Italian and we insult you with our idea of the Italian culture, well, that's too bad. Because we're not super PC in this whole Dr. Seuss books band. Okay, whatever. Okay, so anyway, they're all upset. So one brilliant, wise Italian man says, "Hey, what nature creates, nature can fix." And so I think we should just wait for the sun to come back out and let the leaves dry. Mm-hmm. So that's what they do. Well, as they're drying, they stink so bad. Like the whole town is like, what the hell is going on with that pile of leaves? And so so they're about ready to just get rid of them. And then another very wise Italian says, "Hey, why don't we just go through the pile, find the best leaves, and use them to be the wrapper on really cheap cigars? Because, they're just, it doesn't matter. We'll just use what we can and get rid of the rest." So that's what they do. Well, when they make the cigar and they taste it, Italians go crazy.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, Italians go crazy. So that's what they do. Yeah.
That explains a lot when I bought this cigar, and I'm just finding this out. But, when I got these, I asked the guy who spoke mainly Italian, and, "Hey, do I need to put these in a humidor?" "No." "Okay."
Oh, yes.
How long until they go bad then? "They'll last forever." I'm just like,
yeah.
What? No, I thought he wasn't understanding what I was asking him, but they're kind of like an indestructible cigar. Like
they're kind of like the perfect travel cigar.
Yeah.
So, you can throw them in your suitcase.
No maintenance necessary.
No maintenance. You get where you're going, and boom, your cigar is good. So that's a really cool thing about them. They are 100% Italian, Kentucky filler. Mm. But American Kentucky wrapper.
Huh.
So it's the Kentucky leaf.
Okay.
That kind of, but I don't know. I just like the way they look. They're really rustic. Okay. So we're going to prepare our cigar and get it lit. I'm
going to take my band off because of their shape. Obviously, they fall off a lot.
So I'll just put it on.
Let's just get those out of the way.
Put it on my pinky.
They are fun though because they're the Italian flag, so it's festive. But
no.
Yeah.
So cute. Okay, so
I'm gonna smoke mine. I'm gonna do the whole.
Yours regular.
Yeah.
So this is this cigar is actually made. You see how it's narrow on the ends, thick in the middle. It's made to actually cut in half. So if you have a 15-minute break or a 30-minute lunch hour, you're dialed. So I'm gonna cut it in half and smoke, obviously both of them, but.
And they have, these come in a box of 5 or 6. And I think they have
20.
Yeah, well, yeah, right.
Oh, Italiansmokes.com.
Okay,
you can
where to get them?
Yeah,
it's
kind of difficult, and I don't know that. I think Toscano.com probably has a website, but I go to Italiansmokes.com, and they have a lot. They have little small ones that are already cut, so they're already small like this, and they are they have like coffee.
Right, this is the original flavor, and then there's a light flavor and a coffee flavor, and there might even be a 4th flavor. But this is the original one.
No. This is Extra Vecchio. That's what I should have said. Okay. This is Toscano Extra Vecchio. They have a Classico.
Right.
They have
the lighter one, which I don't know what it's called, but it's a lighter one.
None of them are light.
Well, it's lighter than these anyway.
Yeah, but a Toscano is a full smoke. No doubt about it.
And then the coffee one. So those are the 4.
Then they have some coffee ones, but those are all petite.
Got it.
They're all small.
Okay. All right. I'm ready to light this. Are you?
I don't know what a small thing. A Facebook user just said, and each cigar has a unique blend, so the roller can recognize their own. I didn't know that. But also, I should say that about the rollers because National Women's Month is coming up. All of their rollers are women.
At Toscano Cigars?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Still to this day.
That's cool.
So I think you all know that back in the day, almost all cigar rollers were women, and still they
cool.
kind of run the industry, but there are some men.
Yeah.
But one thing about Toscano cigars, and it's something that I love, is they are really, it's all about tradition.
Okay.
And it's all about how long they've been doing this. They have a good product. You know, it's not like boutique cigars where we're trying different stuff.
Yeah.
They are steeped in tradition.
That's cool.
And we can all use some of that. So
yeah,
that's what I like. So all of their rollers today, I heard that they have 20 women rolling.
My gosh.
That's it. So
for all the cigars they put out, I mean, that's impressive.
Well, they probably didn't have any problem social distancing. Okay, so this was my very first cigar I ever had. A full-bodied Toscano. Seriously. Okay, you know about that, right?
So I lived in Italy, not for a long time, for a few months, studying there, which was a really cool experience compared to going on vacation there, because like I had an apartment, I got to like, you know, cook, shop in the local markets, that kind of thing. And when you go to Italy, everyone's like, the food's gonna change your life, which the food is good, but I
couldn't afford the food. He was so skinny,
very expensive, very small. You know, don't
God.
think you're gonna go get a 4-meat lasagna, and you're not gonna get that. You know,
no.
So people are like, you know, the food's gonna change your life, and the food was good, but it wasn't like, oh my God.
Okay,
right?
But where did you like the food?
In Naples. The food in Naples, and it wasn't even so much the restaurants in Naples, it was the street food, the street pizza, amazing in Naples. And huge portions, very inexpensive. But what changed my life food-wise in Rome was gelato. And I went to this one gelato stand. I mean, it was a problem. It would be like two to three times a day getting a gelato. And I got lemon gelato. They had other flavors, but the lemon gelato. And then these cigars, I went into a cigar shop. It was kind of like a Harry Potter building, like that bank in Harry Potter. It was a triangle building. I went in the first floor, and they had
my chocolate just did that thing like where ice falls. Okay, it's okay. It's just chocolate.
It blends right into your
outfit.
It's
just chocolate liqueur.
It's not wine. It blends right in.
I'll just smell like a drunk. Okay.
Anyway, so I went into this shop and I picked these up, not knowing they had a full on the second floor. They kept asking me, "Do you want to go upstairs? Do you want to go upstairs? Do you want to go upstairs?" No, I don't want to go upstairs. And then later I found out that they sold Cuban cigars upstairs.
Oh.
Should have went upstairs.
Yeah.
Anyways, I bought a bunch of these for my entire stay, and I came back with like, I mean, a lot of extra, and I gave them to you. And little did
it was one of my gifts.
And you know, so the gelato changed my life, and these cigars changed your life, because it got. I mean, this is like, who knew this cigar would get us to where you are today with cigars?
Right.
So that's pretty cool.
I just fell in love. Yeah. I mean, and there is just something about this cigar. It's just got to be my number one because it's sentimental.
Yeah.
And oh my God, see, you do look like Clint Eastwood. Like Clint Eastwood cigar.
Yeah, you have the look. You kind of have a little bit more Western hat with your short, stubby.
It's Italian. God, I love this cigar. I just love it. Okay, so that's how I got started smoking. He brought me these cigars, and Facebook user Heather, how are you? It just says Facebook user. I'm not Heather.
No, her name's probably Heather. Or
why
you know
does it
what?
say Facebook user?
Well, here's what I saw. I saw some
Heather.
people. I saw some people talking to each other in the chat.
Oh,
like a couple of people know each other, so then they say their name, right?
Okay, yeah, that's how it is.
What is the cigar we're smoking? Toscano cigars from Italy.
Somebody said, "Fantastico! I love the Toscano." I don't know. It's terrible. Don't be offended. Okay, I'm Heather with hearts. Are you
Heather?
Heather that I know from hair salon Heather? That's the only Heather I know. I'm Heather.
Well, we know Heather now.
Hi, Heather.
We know her not.
I am smoking a K by Karen Berger, Connecticut. Is Karen Berger the one that's like something tiki?
Ooh.
Yeah, woman.
Tiki.
I think
Tiki
she's
is
the one
big here in
who
Southern California.
owns her own cigar company.
I'm eating my stir stick.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm eating my garnish.
It's gonna go really good with it. I'm gonna try
really
it.
Good.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Italian chocolate. And chocolate liqueur.
Very good.
It's so good. Yum. It's so good with this. Super good. It's almost 5:30.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. I wish this show was like twice as long.
Right?
So, you are a filmmaker. You made your first film in the 4th grade. It was a Western.
Yeah.
A period piece. And he cast all of his friends.
Yeah.
And they came over to the house. And I went through my closet and dressed all the girls like little barmaid floozies. And you made sets.
We made cardboard buildings. We had no money. No. Right? No money at all. So we got, everything was donated or something we already owned.
Yeah. And I was craft services. So I had to have the
sandwiches,
the lunch, the whatever, you know. And the kids are all hanging out in between their scenes and everything. So you made your first film in the 4th grade. It's really impressive. It's on YouTube and it's called
Story of the Old West.
Story of the Old West.
Yes.
And it has like a shit ton of views. It's so hilarious.
Yeah.
Story of the Old West.
It's a cult classic, as they say.
It's a cult classic. Especially that part where we're filming and the airplane goes overhead.
Right. In the Old West. Yeah.
Or the gun shootout where my car, you can see the back end of my car in the driveway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. Those were great times.
You know, my friends and I, we made it after, that was the first film. And then every summer we made a film every summer. Yeah. And then the last year of high school, we tried to make a feature film and we came close. I think the film ended up being 40 minutes, but, you know, I made the decision, hey, let's not make it a full feature because it might be boring. It might be too long. So we did like a good 40-minute movie. But
I'm totally prepared.
I'll take more.
Okay.
If I can see the Club 33 logo, I'm too empty, right?
Anyway, it's some of my happiest years as a mom.
She was really good to me, supporting me however they could. And
I mean, anything, like set the house up as or move
oh my God,
things around in the house.
How many times did we tear apart, move the dining table out to make a big open whatever we were doing? Yeah.
I mean, just absolutely awesome. It was in the I think the 2nd or 3rd grade that I took you. We went as a family trip to Disneyland.
Yeah.
And we walked into Main Street.
Yeah.
Gibson's first time walking into Main Street and kind of seeing all those buildings and everything in Disneyland. And he just looked at me and he said, I just got to do this one day. And I didn't kind of know what he meant, but maybe in the 3rd grade at one point he told me, I'm going to be a director. And
well, yeah, what happened was you guys did such a great job on that trip introducing me because my parents are both very artistic and creative. So going to Disneyland isn't just like riding rides. Like we were going to go see like the Disney little art museum that they have and like see kind of the old school, like especially my dad's into animation and you're into like set decoration. And so you guys showed me who Walt Disney was. And then because growing up in Portland, we were in a very white neighborhood. Disneyland is a melting pot of many cultures. And, you know, you guys made sure to point out like, look at, there's people here from all around the world. And I was kind of like, man, that's so impactful that Disneyland draws people of all different cultures that would probably never come face to face, but they're having this shared experience of Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean, fireworks at night, right? And I thought that was really cool. And then right after that trip, they filmed a commercial at my school. And I saw people, you know, directing us with it was like a documentary commercial, but filming us and stuff. And I was just like putting the Disneyland experience to actual people creating a movie was like, you know, and then from there.
And then there was the time we were in Disneyland and they had just got done filming a commercial for Disneyland. And, you know, we're like, you know, I'm like, come on, Gibson's standing there watching. It's like these guys are just like, everything's all kind of packed up, and these guys are wrapping cords and getting ready to finish. And I'm like, come on, we're going to go on the Haunted Mansion ride, you know? And he's just standing there like...
Just want to watch people wrap cords and put lights down.
And I'm like, dude, we're like, this trip is like $80.54 an hour.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to stand here and watch these guys wrap cords. But,
I was.
You know, that's what... It's just like, it didn't matter what it was.
Yeah.
You could just tell that it was this draw, this thing that he wanted to do. And so the fact that you have realized that...
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty lucky.
I think in the 3rd grade when you said to me, I'm going to be a director, I was like, I told friends, I was like, he says he wants to be a director. And I was like, he will.
Nobody in our family, no one in our friends does anything with movies or TV. So a lot of people that work in my industry are somehow connected or know somebody. Nobody. I had no idea how to even do it, but
and
gotten far enough.
Just started buying equipment. I mean, you started with crappy cameras.
I DJ'd school dances to buy equipment. Yeah. I mean, this kid is like, I mean, seriously, watch the Academy Awards because he's going to be around. We'll see.
So Karen Berger has Don Kiki cigars.
Nice.
Yeah. Woman-owned business. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Maybe I'll interview her next week.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Women's History Month.
Or as they say on Saturday Night Live, Herstory Month.
Herstory Month.
Not his story. Her story.
I like that.
Herstory. See?
Herstory.
Because otherwise it's his story.
Oh, yeah.
But it's her story.
Love that.
When we're talking about it.
Okay, so so now you've made like some huge movies in Hollywood where you've rented equipment.
Yeah, sure. Larger budgets. I mean, not top of the line budgets, but in the hundreds of thousands kind of a thing. But
he just did a film that was filmed in San Francisco, Santa Cruz, San Jose.
Yeah, we got around on that one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, really cool.
Yeah.
With like the San Francisco Bridge in the background, and it's like fog just rolling. That's very cool. Anyway, so you did all that.
Yeah.
Tell me, so when we had Mike on here, he was an actor.
It's hard to follow up Mike G, man. Mike G pulled in a live audience here last week. Mm-hmm. There's no one here. Our cats.
There's a dove on the line. There's a dove on the wire.
I pulled in the family cat. Mike G pulled in like 4 people.
Got the cat, a dove.
Dang.
There's probably a squirrel somewhere.
Mike G's famous though, so I don't care.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
He's gonna be in one of your movies one day.
Oh, I can't wait to cast him.
Yeah. So what was I gonna say? Oh, so because you've been mixing with these people and stuff, what I asked Mike was, tell me some stories that are like,
oh gosh,
like weird.
So there's multiple. I mean, I'm sure Mike can relate. There's multiple weird stories per day of a production to tell because it's just film sets are a melting pot of weirdness and like just weirdness. I mean, I think the first film I did where I kind of started to notice something was maybe a little bit off was my senior project in college, which I pitched. It got selected. It got money from the Hollywood Foreign Press. It was about 50 people.
Oh my gosh.
It was about 50 people that worked on that shoot. It was about an NFL football player gets injured, has to figure out how am I going to like stay in the NFL but not be a player, right? So kind of the main story was him and his wife. Mm-hmm. And I casted an actress I'd worked with in a couple films before, and then I casted this guy who had never acted before, but he was so perfect to play a football player.
He was the main character.
Yeah, he was the main character.
But he'd never acted before.
Everybody told me, don't cast this guy. Like, this is your senior project. Like, this is what's going to get you a job when you're out of college. Don't take a chance on someone that's never done it before. But I said, he's so perfect for the part. I couldn't pay somebody to be better for this part. And, on the very first take of filming, there's this whole sequence you do before you start filming where, you roll out, okay, quiet on the set. Roll sound rolling, roll camera rolling. The person comes in with the slate, reads the slate, boom. Okay, settle in, here we go, hold, action. As soon as she hit the slate, she's still standing in front of the camera with the slate. He jumps out of bed and starts acting. And everyone, of course, because I'm like, no, stick with him, he'll be great. Everyone looks at me like, this is the first take and he's already messed it up. We are screwed. And so,
okay.
Yeah.
So he didn't know maybe like all of that technical stuff.
But he was
he was
great.
A natural actor.
And he picked it up really fast. But that project is when I started to notice, hey, film sets are kind of weird because we were getting ready to do this scene where he's talking to his wife out on the back patio. What should I do with my life now that I'm, going through rehab? I can't play. And the scene ends with a fairly romantic kiss, right? So I had just...
Oh, yeah, and they had chemistry, too.
I had just sat down, and they were both... they were both with other people anyway.
Yeah, but they had chemistry.
And so so I rehearsed with them. Okay, we're gonna go in 5 minutes, right? So my producer's like, I can't find either of them. We need to take them to set. I can't find them. And I said, well, did you check like the green room? Did you check craft services? Did you check hair and makeup? Right? So we find them off in a corner. And I mean, I just wanted a little, okay, scene ends, that's it, right? They are
rehearsing.
I peeked around the fence and I was like, okay, it's going to be a couple more minutes until we're ready. I mean, they were practicing their kiss really, really good. So I was like, well, that was kind of odd. So then fast forward to, I've worked on a lot of sets on like just production assistants or production coordinating, so I don't always see all the chaos because I'm kind of out of it. But on this last film, I was certainly in the thick of it. And you start to notice nuances of certain people that do certain jobs. Like the grip and electric people are really, they're the backbone of the production. Like they're the people that show up and have tape, batteries, energy drinks, but they're like, like if they don't have coffee and creamer, like they're these big tough guys, but if they don't have coffee and creamer, they instantly turn into like, where's my coffee? I can't work without my coffee. You're like, okay, are you the actress or are you grip and electric? Like set up that light and we'll get you coffee, But so kind of a few weird stories I had on that one was we filmed at this weird place just outside of San Jose, this pizza shop.
Oh my
little
God.
Tiny town. We get there and our big grip truck pulls up. We're setting up tents and there's kind of a crowd forming, which we're not quite a big enough production where we should have a crowd forming. And I start talking to this one lady from the town and she goes, well, the owner of the pizzeria put this in the paper that you guys are going to be here on this day at this time filming. Great. That's just what I need is all the town to come out, see what's going on. This lady asked me, she comes up, she goes, you guys filming a movie? I said, yeah. She goes, I'm going to have to get me a DVD player. I was like, this is going on, ma'am. Never mind. This is not going on to DVD.
I like the guy, too, who was like, oh, my God. Now all you Hollywood people are here.
Oh,
everybody's going to be coming to our town.
We had to have security bounce a guy because he was, swearing. Fuck you guys, fuck Netflix, like people are going to invade our town. I'm like, I hate to say it, but I don't think people in New York City are going to come to this town. I just don't see it happening. But when we started filming, it was a night shoot. So our first shot, we were ready to go. I'm like, okay, we're going to go at 8 o'clock. The owner says, oh, you don't want to start filming at 8 o'clock. I said, why? We need to keep our schedule. He goes, well, every night in this town, we have an 8 p.m. howl. And everyone comes out of their house and howls.
This is a small town.
This is a small town.
Northern California.
And he goes, and we had the patio of this restaurant packed with people from the town that we begrudgingly let be background extras. But he said all these people at 8 p.m. are going to howl, whether you're filming or not. They're not going to care. So we wait. And I was like, this guy's pulling my leg, right? 8 p.m. And you and I would howl like, woo, woo, woo. No, some of these guys had stances, they're doing, hundreds of people howling, and it went on, and it went on for, I would say, 45 to 60 seconds of nonstop
my God.
howling. It was insane. It was absolutely crazy.
Okay.
So that was a weird one. Another weird one was this movie I filmed was a romantic comedy about a writer that loses his job. His girlfriend breaks up with him and he moves into a storage unit because he has no money. So we had this scene where we were trying to establish the fact that he's living at the storage unit and he's cooking dinner. He's making hot dogs on a little grill. And we wanted the security guard, an actor. We casted a security guard to walk by and our main actor goes, if you don't tell me, I'll give you a hot dog, right? So this guy shows up. And I haven't even talked to the guy yet. And I'm just like, we can't use him. Not usable. Not usable. First of all, he didn't show up in his wardrobe. He doesn't look like a security guard. He's wearing like blue khaki pants.
I remember.
Right? We can't use him. And my director...
It's too bad we couldn't show a picture of him because, I mean, this guy was like...
I think he was a British guy, so he had kind of a beer belly. He kind of had the crooked teeth. He had his hair in a ponytail. He had a really scraggly beard. And he was really, really quiet. And his name was either Garth or Gareth. We called him a mixture of Garth and Gareth, and he never corrected us. He never said, actually, my name is. So my director said, well, he's here. He's had lunch. Like, we might as well just use him. I said, he can't be a security guard. It's not possible. There's no way. Let's just send him home. He goes, what about if he's someone that has a storage unit nearby and is kind of like, well, that's weird that you're cooking dinner at your storage unit, and he passes by. Okay, so our wardrobe girl gets him into a halfway decent outfit. And so we filmed their interaction, and it was very clear this guy had never acted before. He started walking into the frame before we called action. He stopped in a different place every time, so the continuity for the editor would be off. But the weirdest part was we said, okay, he's going to give you a hot dog, and then, because it's a comedy, it's a romantic comedy, so for a little comedy scene, we want the main character to kind of, hold the hot dog and kind of give you a cheers, like the hot dogs and then eat them.
Yeah.
So we said, kind of eat your hot dog and look around and we'll cut. That's what our main actor did, because he's a professional actor. This odd fellow, first of all, he was holding his hot dog. I have another cigar here I'll use as a prop. I don't know how most of you would hold a cigar, or a hot dog, but I would assume kind of like that. He was holding it with his thumb towards the camera, and he was holding the end he was going to bite. So if he bit, he'd bite his hand. So first of all, he's holding his cigar like that. So they clink the cigar, and he does the most impressive hand maneuver. Somehow, in a split second, he worked his little hand to the other end of the hot dog and flipped it around so he could get it to his mouth. And then as he ate the hot dog, he proceeded to dead stare at our actor. We've said, please, eat and look around. He was just like...
I love it. So did you use him? Did he get cut?
So we were only going to let it roll for a couple seconds. Our director would not yell cut. I mean, our sound mixer he's a middle-aged guy. He was kneeling over. I saw tears coming out behind us, laughing. We were laughing and our lead actor, he started eating his hot dog so fast because he wanted the scene to end. Because he saw what was going on. He's trying not to laugh. And this guy, the whole time, eating that hot dog, just dead staring at our actor. The weirdest thing.
Oh my God.
Another, and another thing about sets just in general, they're kind of like a petri dish for romance. Like there's lots of crew hookups and stuff. And just like odd relationships that you would never think, like people who just very odd. They're kind of like petri dishes for like odd romances and stuff. Film sets are very, very odd places. If you ever find yourself on one, it'll be an experience.
Well, see, that's what I like to highlight here is like this is just an odd industry, right?
Yep. No doubt.
Yeah, but I don't like when people get down on Hollywood because film is storytelling. And storytelling has been done through art. Storytelling has been done through music. Storytelling can pass on messages.
Yeah, sure.
Slaves used songs to pass messages to each other.
Yeah, yep.
Revolutions around the world have been propelled by artwork. And movies are an extension of that. They're kind of an extension of our culture. They show every aspect of our culture, every feeling, everything that's going on.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that I think it's important.
Yeah.
I think it's just really important for people to be able to reveal stories that talk about what's going on in our society and around the world. So I'm a big proponent of movies. And okay. So we only have a few more minutes, so I think we should get to our
20
movie
more minutes.
pairing.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
I was going to talk about really quick before I do my film pairing. So I'm way ahead of you on these. You need a big drink.
I wouldn't say way ahead.
I just poured myself more.
Oh, just now? So you filled
while
up
you were
twice?
talking.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, I love this kid. He and I are two peas in a pod. I mean, growing up, we were like, yeah, now I have to share them with his girlfriend, but that's okay because I love her.
Yeah,
it's
she's
okay.
great.
It's okay, but okay. So flavor profile. This the Toscano is strong, full-bodied. It's earthy. It has a kind of an herbal. I don't know how to describe that. Herbal, like kind of goes with the earthy, I guess. Herbal, like tastes, and maybe that's the lack of the binder and just the wrapper, so you get more of that feeling in that Kentucky leaf. Just kind of a herbal, like as in herbs, you know, basil, rosemary, all of that. Just kind of like that nice essence. But it is also very tangy. It has kind of a tangy, what I think is kind of a fruit.
Well, I don't get that.
Well, I think
you know a lot more than I do, so whatever you say, I believe.
I don't know. I kind of, when I review a cigar, it's very different than other people. I taste other things and frequently, but the tanginess to me is like a fruit, like a fermented fruit, and that's probably the fermentation process that goes on with the Toscano. It's kind of like maybe an apricot, dried cherry, like that kind of tang, like a fruity tang to me. But very strong, but yet, you know, I've had strong cigars where I'm just like, this is too strong. This is a strong cigar. I don't have any problem smoking it. It is delicious.
Yeah.
And so is the Classico. The Classico is really good. This is the Extra Vecchio.
Yeah.
I hope I'm saying that right. The Extra Vecchio. Anyway, really good. You guys need to, if you haven't had one before, they're unique. And so in that way, they're a very traditional cigar, but yet they almost fall into a boutique kind of cigar because they're made differently and they have this kind of unique flavor and unique look. So, yeah, I really dig them. Okay, so that's my flavor profile. So my movie pairing has got to be The Godfather. I mean, come on, right? It's strong. It's
dark and strong.
Dark and strong. And, you know, in The Godfather, it's like retaliation. You know, you pay the price for what you do. Oh, somebody said, Gibson, tell us the name of your movie and when and where to see it. Well, there's still, is it still in post-production?
It's still in post-production. It's called This Side Up, and it's going to be on demand. Wherever you get movies on demand, that's where it's going to be. So probably, I don't know. It'll be this year, certainly. I would say maybe late spring, early summer, maybe. Somewhere around in there.
It's cute. It's about a guy who, his girlfriend leaves him for another guy, and he moves all his stuff into a storage unit and then ends up just kind of living in the storage unit.
Yeah.
And then meets a girl who kind of, I think, changes his perspective on love and gives him hope about love.
And the film is a homage to Alfred Hitchcock and the movie Vertigo. So we film at all the places in San Francisco where Vertigo was filmed. So if you like that movie Vertigo, it's very nostalgic of that film. So
I think that's super cool.
Okay, but go ahead with Godfather.
So Godfather. I mean, you know, it's like twists and turns, and but it's like all about, you're always waiting to see who's going to get in trouble, right?
Yeah.
Every time somebody screws up and they go to talk to him, he's like,
what's the punishment going to be?
You've disrespected the father. Yeah.
Are you going to get killed? Is your family going to get killed? Yeah.
Yeah.
Keeps going there.
So it's
I like that.
And it's tradition.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of Godfathers, right? There's 5 of them or some movies
Films?
Or something.
Yeah, there must be 4 or 5 of them.
But I mean, the original one is just steeped in that tradition. It really just shows you, you know, there's an Italian wedding. It just really shows you Italian tradition. And that really goes well with the traditional cigar.
Yes.
So what I want to ask you as a filmmaker, when you smoke this cigar, what do you think?
So
do you have a film pairing?
I do. I normally, people ask me about new movies. I don't know much about new movies, unfortunately. So I go old school. So I'm pairing it with a Clint Eastwood film because he was a known smoker of this exact Toscano cigar. And he smoked it like that in the half. And I'm going with A Fistful of Dollars, which is a really great spaghetti Western. So it's made by an Italian filmmaker, Sergio Leone. But he's not credited because back then the Italian directors were not liked in Hollywood.
I just had a huge retro hail, and I don't usually do that. But wow, that's delicious.
Anyway, Sergio Leone could not use his name on the film because Italian directors were not liked. You know, back then people thought Italian people are taking our jobs. So the name that they have him under is Bob Robertson. So it's directed by Bob Robertson, but it's actually Sergio Leone. And I think if you get the movie now, it has the correct name on it. But the reason I paired it with this film wasn't just Clint Eastwood, but the film, he rolls into this town. The town is overrun by these two gang families that kind of like really have the stronghold over the town. And he gets hired by one of the families to help take out the other family. And the other family also hires him to help take out the other family. And he works for both of them. And they end up killing each other. And he frees the town so the people don't have to follow the stupid rules of these families. And, you know, the thing about these cigars is, you know, a lot of cigars kind of change in flavor. This cigar is pretty true to itself through the whole thing.
Absolutely.
And that film, it's not a slow film, but it has the same pace through the whole film. Clint Eastwood is, you know, that very strong character. He never breaks. He never gets excited. He never gets sad. So, you know, I was like, you know, that film is very
cool.
Yeah, that
calm.
film stays strong. It never speeds up. It never slows down. Kind of like this cigar. This cigar, once you start smoking it, that's how it's going to end. So that's kind of why I paired those movies. You know?
Yeah, that's kind of like Don Corleone. Mm-hmm. He's just like the same.
Mm-hmm. Very sure.
It's like, I've got my deal. You interrupt it. You disrespect me, you're done.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Love it.
You get like
those are good pairings. Both good films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have about 10 minutes. What I was going to ask you is, do you have any, being in the film industry, do you see changes coming?
Oh my gosh.
Especially COVID.
Wow. Oh.
I think COVID has totally affected movie making and all of that.
So I don't think people realize that we're kind of in this huge renaissance change of film right now. Mm-hmm. And it started maybe about 5 years ago with Netflix and Hulu and Amazon. I'm sure a lot of you get your content now on streaming as opposed to going to the theater. And it's been a slow, gradual change, less and less box office, more and more streaming. But when COVID hit, a lot of productions got shut down. And it kind of fast-tracked this transformation we've been making from these big, you know, $300 million films that go into the theater. And it's kind of fast-tracked us to where I think we were heading within the next 10 or 15 years, which is Netflix and Disney Plus and Hulu and Amazon giving money to people that are maybe making a 10, 15, $20 million movie, which is actually... You know, there are always going to be movies that are made for the theater. Always, right? Like your Star Wars, your Marvel movies, those are going to go to the theater. But now Netflix sees the value in, instead of giving someone $300 million, we could give 5 people $30 million, and we can get 5 new films on our platform. This year alone, Netflix has 1 new feature film coming out every week. 52 feature films being added to Netflix, original films. So it's kind of going in this really unique direction where you're going to start seeing smaller budget films, which definitely does not say anything to the quality because they're still made really well. In fact, sometimes a smaller budget film in the tens of millions instead of the hundreds of millions is actually going to be better because they didn't blow money on like crazy stuff.
So instead of being kind of a closed club,
we're
now opening it up to people who have great talent and maybe don't have backing or don't have a ton of money, but they're creative and they have this great mind and they can make film.
And what else is cool
really neat.
Is your favorite actors and actresses are going to start taking parts that they're more passionate about. They are going to start doing more passion projects because there's more films out there and the pay is not going to be as big for them. It'll still be good. I will still be making, you know.
Okay. Wrap that up really quick.
Okay, go
I just
ahead.
thought of something we want to talk about.
Okay, what?
We want to talk about all the cool places. Let's run this down really quick.
Yeah.
All the cool places that he and I ripped out a cigar.
Yes.
Like we'll be somewhere and maybe we're not even supposed to smoke there.
And while we're doing this, if you're watching and you've smoked at a cool place in the Midwest or East Coast where we haven't been, tell us. Like, you know, Grand Canyon, Mount Rushmore, Big Apple, whatever. Tell us. So we'll tell you ours. Okay. Here we go.
Okay. Do you want to start?
No, you start and I'll pick up what you
I have a whole list.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh my God.
We smoked some cool places.
Okay, so this was really cool. At Disneyland, they kept getting rid of smoking areas, but they had this one little smoking area that was right under the Grizzly River Rapid Ride.
A water
Holy
rapid
shit.
ride. Yeah.
Say that after you've had a couple chocolate martinis. The Grizzly River Rapid Ride. Anyway, we sat under there.
Yep.
Where the ride was going over and smoked cigars, and that was kind of when I was new into cigars, and it was just funny because there's so many guys around smoking cigarettes and they're just staring at me like that chick is smoking a cigar. It's so funny.
Yeah.
So that's one
cool.
place.
That was cool.
Okay.
Yep.
Hollywood Boulevard. When you turn 21, epic. He turned 21.
Walk of Fame.
Yeah, we spent the night in a hotel, a couple nights in a hotel down there to celebrate his 21st birthday. And we walked up and down on the Stars Walk of Fame, just smoking away, smoking our cigars. And
we snuck a cigar. So
yeah.
If you ever watch the Academy Awards, it takes place at the Kodak Theater on Hollywood Boulevard. And in front of the Kodak Theater is kind of this open air mall. They have this beautiful staircase with red tiles. Carpet. Yeah. So it looks like a red carpet.
Yeah.
And that is where they walk off from the press, off of Hollywood Boulevard, up the staircase into the theater.
Yeah.
And we snuck in there. I mean, you can go in there, but you definitely can't smoke in there. But we snuck our cigars in there. We stood on those stairs and took a few puffs. Yeah. Which is cool.
It was totally awesome. Yeah. So that was cool.
Yep.
We smoked at Joshua Tree.
Oh, yeah.
Joshua Tree is
can't smoke there, so we're not promoting smoking in a national park, but it's very
kind of dry, and I suppose we could start a fire, but we were very careful.
Very responsible.
We had water bottles in case we needed to, whatever. But Joshua Tree, oh my God. And Joshua Tree is like being in another world.
So cool.
And so smoking there, I mean, you know how you feel when you sit and smoke a cigar, and it's just this great experience.
And if you're a night person and you like smoking and looking at the stars, beautiful.
Oh my God, the best. Okay, we smoked in on Sunset Boulevard.
Yep. Lots of places on Sunset Boulevard.
Lots of places.
A couple cigar shops, a couple bars, right by the Rainbow, right by the Viper Room. This might be places you guys have heard of.
And one night we were smoking. There were like Lamborghinis racing up and down the street, Ferraris. It was so cool.
Rodeo Drive.
Smoked on Rodeo Drive.
You can go. Where they filmed Pretty Woman. You can go to that hotel, which is at the end of Rodeo Drive. And what is that one called? That's not the Beverly Hills Hotel. That's the
Beverly Wilshire.
Yeah. So they have a cool little bar there.
Oh,
and you can sit out on the patio. They have a humidor inside. You can get a cigar and sit out on the patio.
Yes.
And if you're a guy that likes cars, come to Beverly Hills on Father's Day.
Yeah.
They do a car show on Rodeo Drive.
It's like classic Ferrari.
Classic car.
Lamborghinis.
Old Bentleys from the 30s and the beautiful cars. And you can sit at the hotel on the sidewalk and smoke a cigar and have drinks. It's a great.
I even like it.
Yeah.
But I like cars. But, let's see where else. Malibu Paradise Cove. Okay, Paradise Cove in Malibu is like where the Beach Boys hung out.
Yeah.
I mean, all these famous people back in the probably 70s. And they have their pictures on the wall and everything. And it's great. You can sit out on the sand and the waiters come out and serve you drinks. And so we smoked there. You and I smoked there. In lots of hot tubs at hotels where we're not supposed to. Like Morongo Casino. You can't see the hot tub. And if you sit in a few places, they can't see you on camera. Oh, how about Griffith Observatory? The great Griffith Observatory that is so fantastic in LA.
Cool place to go if you come to LA.
Oh my God, you can just look out over the whole city, but not only that, but they have night shows. So all the cool night events.
They bring out telescopes and stuff. If you're not from California and you come to California, make sure you go to Griffith Observatory. It is one of the more touristy places that we recommend, but it's worth it.
Don't miss it.
It's so cool.
Okay, so I'm going to name a couple things because we just got a few minutes.
Go.
Yosemite.
Yes.
Yosemite Park.
Be responsible.
The Long Beach Grand Prix. Okay, the Long Beach Grand Prix. If you like car racing, that's like incredible.
It's Indy car and it's on the street. The course is on the street. It's very cool.
Downtown. It's downtown Long Beach.
Downtown Long Beach.
The cars
and
drive
you
all
can
through.
get
it's cool.
You can get right up to the road. I mean, you can be within probably, I would say, as close or closer 10 feet to the cars going 180 miles an hour past you.
Okay, and then also the last one too I want to say is Hollywood Forever Cemetery, where a lot of really famous people are buried. But we also go there every year in October, and we set up an altar for Dia de los Muertos. And we set up a huge altar, and we're there for a couple days, and we smoke like crazy. And you're just like standing around all the tombstones, and that's pretty cool
really
too.
Cool. Yes.
So, so we're kind of coming down to the end, I guess.
Wow, we talked about it.
I know. We had so much to talk about, and we could even talk about more.
I know.
I'll have him back again after a while, and we'll talk about other stuff too. But so that's kind of it for tonight. I don't know what to tell you about next week. I haven't planned my show for next week. It's going to be a surprise. So I'm going to be working on it on the next couple days, and I'll probably just be posting it on Chix and Sticks on Instagram. So you can find out there, but it'll have something to do with Women's History Month. Oh, Amy's saying shots. I know we didn't have shot o'clock, but trust me, we have like 3 liquors in our drinks. So we didn't really need the shots. I don't think. I'm feeling really good.
It's a good thing that we're going to go inside right now and have a spaghetti dinner.
Cigar enthusiast said to have another drink. Should we do a shot really quick before we sign up?
Okay. Get your shot glass.
We'll sign off with a shot. They're going to kick us off. Okay, to next week. Thank you all who watched. Watch again next week.
You still have 3 minutes.
I do? Oh, yeah. Okay, whatever.
You could say hi to a couple people.
Hi to a couple people.
If there's anyone to say hi to.
Cigar enthusiast.
Hello.
Of course, hello. He's the one who said have another drink. Let's do it really quick.
Okay, here we go.
Shot o'clock. And we have to say that when we're done, we're going in to have spaghetti. We're having the spaghetti for dinner. That's what we're having. So bad, my Italian. Okay.
Who else can we say hi to?
Who else can we say? Go over the hour, somebody said. Well, I think they cut us off, or I would.
Hey, why don't we stick around and keep saying hi to people? And
we'll just keep talking.
Let's see how long it will go. We'll only go a couple minutes over, but let's just test the limits of the man.
We'll just see what happens. And
let's see if the man will kick us off or not.
If we go away, we go away. But until then, we're having fun. Okay. Somebody's got to get you revved up, LOL. What does that mean? Kevin Manning. Somebody's got to get... I'm already revved up.
Okay, I am her son, so this is the more family-friendly version of the show.
It's true.
There's not going to be your typical dirty comedy hour with... Although I don't mind, but, you know, naturally. Yeah.
Next week.
Mike G can make the sex jokes. I don't think I'm quite it.
I'll have him back, and I have a couple people that I want to have on who are cigar makers. In the next couple weeks, I'm going to have Paul Stulak on, who makes really great cigars, boutique cigars, and a lot of, you know, we need to get his name out there because people who have smoked him just love them.
Yeah.
So, and Mike G's going to start selling them in his new cigar lounge.
And Paul, is he in Fresno? Where is he?
Paul Stulak. He is in Florida.
He's in Florida.
He has a factory in Florida.
Cool.
But he's stuck in Canada.
Oh no.
He went to Canada and they shut the border.
He can't get back.
He can't get back.
Oh boy.
So that's that. Let's see what else. Okay, so we could look at some of the other things we were going to talk about. We'll just keep talking.
Well, we were going to kind of talk about cigars in Hollywood. Cigars are a big part of Hollywood.
Big history. Big history.
And I think the way that started is cigars are a status symbol. We all know this, right?
Yes.
You know, and especially back then when smoking was even more common than it is now. So if you are a producer or an executive or a director, you better be a cigar smoker. Or you probably weren't taking... And it started with Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin was one of the first big Hollywood celebrities.
Sophia
and he was
Loren.
A cigar smoker.
I have a great picture of Sophia Loren with a cigar. Wow. I mean, yeah. there's kind of nothing sexier than a woman with a cigar. And Sophia Loren, come on.
One of my favorite Hollywood cigar smokers is Gore Gavinsky, who directed the Pirates of the Caribbean films. Mm-hmm. There are some amazing photos of him on the set, you know, especially in the first film when they're sword fighting in that cave. And the guy has his beard on fire, and Gore's there with his cigar. And he made that movie. Oh my gosh, what's the Western he made?
Gore Verbinski
with Johnny Depp, and you know the famous Western with Tonto and.
Oh my gosh. No. God, who is that?
Oh gosh, we flubbed his name. You know who I mean.
Tonto,
the Lone Ranger,
Silver,
the Lone Ranger. And he
Yeah.
smoked cigars through the production of that movie, which if I ever made a Western movie, it's going to be cigars on set every day on a Western movie. Come on.
Yeah, you're going to have characters smoking cigars too, I think.
Alfred Hitchcock smoked cigars, which
absolutely.
That's cool.
I mean, think of all the people who smoke cigars, like I'll be back. What's his name?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Wasn't he a governor of the state? That was before I moved here. Whatever.
Way before
He's a Republican. I'm not. There's just so many people.
Who's the guy from the Rocky movies?
Oh, Sylvester Stallone.
Stallone, right?
Of course, Stallone is a cigar smoker. Yeah.
You know who I didn't know was a cigar smoker? Robert Downey Jr. is a cigar smoker.
Oh.
Don Cheadle as well. I didn't know that about
Demi Moore.
There also have to be people that smoke cigars that like we don't know, like Denzel Washington and Samuel Jackson. They get together and smoke cigars.
Absolutely.
They have to. I don't
Let's get them on the show.
Yeah.
Let's get them on the show. Yeah.
Spike Lee has to be a cigar smoker.
Yeah, I would think so.
Hey, it hasn't kicked us off yet.
I know. Look at, and all these people are saying, great show, great show. Thank you. God, I love doing this. This is only my 3rd episode, so you guys need to stick around because I'm going to be on episode 347.
It looks like our streaming boss is on here in the shadows, probably wondering, looking at his watch going, okay, they're going over. We're going rogue.
Well, and I have to say, too, that there was a possibility that I could have had the Toscano rep on here tonight. But I know. But I said no because...
What?
I said no because I'm so proud of you.
Oh, my God. He'd have way more interesting stuff to talk about.
I know, but I really wanted to feature you, and I really wanted to talk about what you do and what you've done, and I'm so proud of... how far you've come, and I'm so proud that you had a dream when you were 6 and you've never given up on it. You went to college for it. Yeah. You had to apply to get into film school. So your first 2 years at Long Beach State were university classes. And
I didn't even know if I would get into the film program.
You did not even know.
But I went just in case I would.
You had to apply, and it was like 10% of the people in film would get accepted into the next 2 years of film school. And you did a film and was accepted.
You had to do a film that told the school who you were, but you could not be in it.
You couldn't speak. You couldn't be seen.
So you couldn't sit there and be like, this is what I'm all about. So I made a movie about my funeral. And I had people come up at my funeral and tell everybody at the funeral about me, about what the kind of person I am. And and I was in a casket there in a cemetery.
We stuffed a suit. That made it look like he was laying in the casket. And so he got into, it's like all these little dominoes that I've had to line up to get you to where you are now. And all of those dominoes have completely connected. But that's not just luck.
Right.
I mean, I think that's the thing that I'm proud of you about is your just absolute dedication to ignoring the no's, ignoring the people who say, oh my God, there's a million people trying to do that. It's never going to work out.
And the thing I would say to people watching or who are going to watch this, who know anybody that's going into the entertainment industry in any capacity is, I know it seems like we have this crazy job that's a lot of fun and it pays fairly well, and it's definitely not being a first responder or being a construction worker. You know, it's not as taxing as that, but kind of give those people a little bit of your empathy, because unlike some careers out there, when you talk to people that work in entertainment, there is no here's what you do to get a job. There are people that don't go to school at all. There are people that get their master's. Like, you cannot talk to one.
You have to create your own path.
You have to.
Yeah.
It's not like you don't go to the cop academy and become a police officer. Like, there is no like director academy or cinematographer academy. So it is.
Can you tell he's mine?
It is hard in that fact, because you have to find your own way, you know? So, yeah.
Somebody said Jack Nicholson, of course.
Jack Nicholson, he's sure.
A cigar smoker for sure. There's so many. I mean, if you just Google cigar smokers in Hollywood, it's pretty amazing.
And I think everybody watching out there watched that Michael Jordan documentary just to see what cigars he was smoking while he was being interviewed.
Yeah.
Whether you cared about his basketball or not.
What about Kobe Bryant? Do you think he smoked cigars?
I don't know.
I bet he did.
I wonder if he did. Regularly, though. He was kind of a health guy, you know. He was really into like health.
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't inhale cigars.
I guess.
I mean, the cancer rate is very, very low for cigar smokers, so that's pretty cool.
And Steve Harvey, we all know he's a cigar smoker, but I saw an interview with him, and the reason he smokes cigars more than just the flavor and the, you know, the passion of doing it is he started getting into cigars because he hosts so many shows. He was stressed out, and he uses it as a breathing exercise before his show to regulate his breathing, get him calmed down, get him in the zone. He smokes
somebody said Dennis Rodman smokes cigars.
Dennis Rodman, yeah.
See?
Classic. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that's so true. That's what cigars are. They're just really, you know, like I can just come out here on the patio and smoke a cigar and just end the day.
Yeah. Yep.
Ask the cigar some questions. What I like is that the cigar never tells me anything I don't want to hear. It doesn't talk back. True.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
I like ask the cigar. I take a smoke. It tells me what I want to hear.
I like it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that cigars are an amazing thing, and the cigar community has been an amazing culture. Like, I want to say maybe I've been on Instagram 2 years, maybe, and just the friends that I've made.
People that don't know cigars don't know all the creativity that goes into flavors and bands and, you know, events. And it really is a creative industry.
It's
absolutely
art. And once you get into cigars, you realize, Al Pacino. And somebody said Kobe did smoke cigars.
He did. Okay. All right. I like it.
Dennis Rodman would make an interesting show. I'll get a hold of him. I'm not afraid to ask anybody. Like, I'll just get a hold of him and say, hey, be there or be square.
Now,
that's an old saying.
Now, we live in Long Beach, right by this community hospital that currently is not in operation, and it's a favorite location of Hollywood. They film stuff all the time. And during quarantine, they filmed NCIS Los Angeles. And who's in NCIS Los Angeles? LL Cool J.
He smokes cigars.
He's a cigar smoker.
Absolutely.
And that was right around Halloween. We wanted him to come to our event in the backyard.
Yeah, we walked down there and watched him. Well, we saw LL Cool J come out of the hospital and get into a makeup.
A big sprinter luxury van.
Yeah, then the little makeup artist with her little apron full of makeup got in after him. And that was fun.
We got to get LL Cool J. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Ice Cube must smoke cigars, right?
Yeah, Mel Gibson.
Snoop Dogg probably only smokes cigars that has weed in it, huh?
I think is Johnny Depp a cigar smoker? He smokes cigarettes. I don't know if he smokes cigars.
I
don't know. I need to get a hold of him and say, what are you doing with the cigarettes? Like, come on. Yeah, so yeah.
Francis
so they're still
Coppola,
letting us be
cigar smoker, Italian.
Sure. Yeah.
And he has wine, right? They have Coppola wine.
Yes.
So that's got to be good with some type of cigar. We got to figure that
Yeah.
We have Francis Ford Coppola night. Wine, cigar.
Oh yeah,
Francis Ford Coppola movie.
We could show some movie clips.
Yeah.
We could. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be really fun. Yeah.
Love it.
Okay, so should we sign off or
I guess.
just keep blabbing? I guess
we'll cut ourselves off.
We'll stop yakking at you.
We don't want to get her in too much trouble for going over.
Oh, you know, trouble is my middle name. Okay, so I guess we should do it.
J-Lo? What?
J-Lo?
Really?
Oh, yeah. There's pictures of J-Lo.
Oh, my gosh.
At a basketball game or something. She's at some kind of sports event. She's got this cigar.
How cool. Good
I know.
I love that.
She's like oh my God, if I could wake up and be J-Lo.
I'm sorry we don't know some of your guys' name because like whoever said J-Lo, it says Facebook user. So
yeah, we're getting a lot of Facebook
we don't know who you are, but sorry.
I wish I could throw out your names,
yeah.
but
we appreciate the
love that you're watching.
Comments. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we really do. So I guess we
wait. Go back to comments really quick and see what
Oh.
Amy said about Dennis Rodman. There was a.
Why does she know so much about Dennis
Rodman
Amy?
would make an interesting guest. Or
I know. I'm gonna get a hold of him.
Yep.
Wearing my Armani. Okay, so let's see. So, I guess we'll just sign off.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it. This was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I love you.
I love you too. Yeah. You're going to do great with this.
My kid.
I'm excited to see this unfold as it continues to unfold.
Yes. We'll see how the shows go and how they grow and change, and I'll get better and better and better. And hopefully, especially at the technology.
Sorry about that. I'm partly to blame. We're learning. We're learning as we go.
Yeah. So
it's not as easy as you think. Okay.
No,
there's a lot of steps.
There are a lot of steps.
There's a lot of steps.
There's a lot of steps. And I'm all about the drinks, and by the time I get to the technology, I'm kind of like
the steps start to blur together.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, we are going to sign off, and thank you for joining us. Thank you for letting me introduce my son to you and talk about cigars and film. And you know what I always say when I sign off: be kind and keep chasing your stars.